Hi there, this is Nikita, and on the desk today is the project Praktica Super TL, and we are going to do some battery work because this thing is most likely depleted, and if that's not the case, well, then we've got a problem with the metering in this camera. And before continuing on with this project, I want to sort this out to know if we need to dig into the camera and try to replace or repair something internally, or just have an issue with the battery. So let's get started. So first things first, let's move the camera and the lens out of the way and get a multimeter, because we need to check on the state of this battery. And going by, well, what's stated on here, KX625, made in W, Germany by Kodak. I believe this to be a mercury battery. Unsure though, but the West Germany means it's old. So we've got the voltmeter. We've got it on direct current, on voltage 20. This thing should give either, if it's an alkaline, 1.5 or a little bit over, or if it's a mercury, 1.35, if I remember correctly, volts. But we're going to test that very simply with this thing. So let's turn it on and ensure that we're not touching anything else. And we've got 0 volts. So let's see how low does this thing go. Well, first do this, then do this. Well, 0. Oh, I don't believe that completely, but you never know. So yes, there's a little bit of life left in here. Not much though. Not enough to make this, well, meter in the camera work. And that's why I got a replacement alkaline battery, which is good until March 2021 in the package, of course. And this one should work quite simply because, well, this guy stated it on this forum, and I printed that out for my documentation of this project. But he basically states that this is a specific circuit that, well, uses all types of batteries as long as the voltage isn't too high. I could have gone with a silver oxide battery, but that voltage is 1.65 at least. It is more stable than alkaline, but this is a little bit lower, which should be easier on the components in that thing. And I am going to assume it's broken because it states here belichting, and the lady behind the counter in the shop in which I bought this stated, well, basically that this means that there's something wrong with the belichting, or the metering as it is called in English, of course. So we need to clean the contacts in here. This thing came out here, and we need our universal coin, well, tool to open up this compartment a little bit more easily. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of oxidation right here, and we need to clean that out. So let's get some cotton swabs and a little bit of alcohol and just do that quite quickly. And one of the other fellows who replied to that specific thread stated that these leads in this battery compartment might be bent down too much. So we also have to, well, basically remind ourselves that even if the battery is in there, we might have to check that. A little bit of canned air. And let's take out this battery from its wonderful packaging. Right, and how does it go in there? Most likely like that. Let's make sure it looks like it. So that's interesting. I'm unsure, so let's take the old one. It goes like this and it doesn't go like that. So that's very interesting. The positive goes to the housing. Interesting. PX625A. So, is this clean enough? That is clean enough for now. So, let's see. I am going to have to mount a lens, I believe, and then I'll test it properly. Right. And I do believe we have an issue with the meter. So let's take it to that. Yeah. Houston, we have a problem. So, either the meter that's in here is stuck, well, the optical element that receives the light is broken, or there's a connection issue, or one of the other components in here is broken. So that's a big issue, and unfortunately that basically means that the camera has to come apart to diagnose the electrical components in here. If it's just a little component I can buy off the shelf, that's not a big issue. I can solder it in if that's required. If it's another issue with, for example, well, the light sensor, then there is a bigger problem, because I don't think you can replace those easily enough, or those components are available readily enough. So, in this purchase we had at least 2 lenses, which is good, and those lenses have issues in themselves. One is that the aperture blades in this one, I'm unsure if you can see that, but they are not quite sticky, but they are not perfectly aligned properly, and this housing is loose, at least a little bit. So perhaps somebody tried to fix something in here in the past. Now with this one there's another issue, and that is basically that the aperture blades don't work at all. So that's the Helios, and this is the, well, the Meyer Optic one. And those are, well, interesting enough to just repair by themselves. So this isn't a waste nor a complete loss. But I am a little bit disappointed, and I am going to investigate this a little bit further right now. But for this video we are done. So this is Nikita Net saying I hope you found this interesting, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.